Cychreus, Seamus banning enclosed. First veto, right? Fish Speaker instantly banning Arabia. Nile Delta, Nomad coming in after that. Arena, Mega Random, Rivers. We end up with Mongolia as our starting map. Seamus, Cychreus, homing, starting off favoriting Amazon Tunnel, Fish Speaker on Ghost Lake. So, let's see here. Starting on Mongolia. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Winter Bash. We've got a challenge, promotion challenge match with this league stage situation. Cychreus on the northwest side of the map here, in yellow, playing as the Britons. Fish Speaker, our southeasterly player, in red, as is Georgians. Best of 3. Fish Speaker previously won. I'm alt-tabbing to check to make sure I get this right. A match against Wiggle the Wise in the B League, which means that he's now able to challenge upwards to the A League. And if he beats Cychreus here, he will be promoted to the A League. Cychreus will be demoted to the B League. You hate to see demotions happen, but it's part of the setup we've got going right now. We might rework that in the future. I've got some rule changes, some small structure changes in mind for future iterations of this format, but we got to stick with what we've laid out for now. But here we are in this promotion match. Our yellow player, our Briton player, going for a little bit of a sheep buffet, taking those 3 all at the same time. If you've been around Age 2 for a while, you might know animals in this game decay slowly over time when they're dead. So even when you're gathering from them, they're still just losing like 1 food every few seconds from being dead. It just gets deleted off of their corpse, which means that most of the time, if you want to min-max your food gathering, you want to take food from 1 dead animal at a time and try to prevent your villagers from automatically killing like multiples. Which is why you'll see people leave their sheep out on the edge like this, or like have only 1 over there ready queued up for the next to go next. But at the same time, that's a lot to think about, a lot to micro in the early game when you're trying to do scouting, you're trying to take boards and stuff. So sometimes players just opt not to bother with anything about that and just let their villagers have at the sheep, have at those animals, and do what they will with them. We're here on Mongolia. Lots of cliffs, lots of trees, cliffs, choke points. You don't see this map too often. In our tournament, you see it a little more often, I feel like, than in the broader community. Cliffs provide I think it's a 1 damage, 1 defense mitigation when you're on top of them. Technically, like, this is the top, this is the bottom of this cliff right here. So it kind of adds a little bit of RNG factor of like which direction the cliff spawns, because it doesn't have to necessarily make any sense according to the map script generator, right? Like, who cares which side the map of the cliff is like facing? But it does affect if there's fighting over the top of it. So a little bit of interesting aspect to this Mongolia map. So we're gonna see boar number 2 taken right by that mill. Oh, got to make a dash for it with this Ville. Garrisons, nice. Second boar being taken for yellow. Fish Speaker looks like he's going for some long distance sheep. It happens. Gonna go ahead and take that first boar right now, it looks like, as well. Lure that guy in. And some sheep been found by Fish Speaker. These are Cychreus' starting sheep, it looks like. He's got 2 of them out of the back there. It's very sneaky. Boar coming in for red. Now this looks like a guy that's played some online games. Look at him go. Yellow moving out across the map. So probably what we'll be looking for in this game is choke point walls, right? Get these blocked off, get these little spots blocked off. It's a lot easier to do on this map with all the cliffs. And then you'll be safe to boom up to your heart's content. Fish Speaker playing on the Georgians once again here. Another Fish Speaker Georgian appearance. He loves the Civ at the minute. It's a new DLC civilization. Has a very strong Manaspa medium cavalry, heavy cavalry unit. Unique unit produced out of the castle. Also, these mule carts function as both lumber camp and mining camp for the Georgians. So harder to wall with the mule carts, right? If you're trying to like small wall around your resources, a lot harder to handle. They do block movement in their like tile that they're technically on or whatever. But yeah, good luck house walling that in, basically. But they are a lot more efficient with the wood because you can just move them up to the wood and move them around to other resources if you need to take some other stuff. Hide with them in the TC. They can also garrison. But that's a bit of a unique thing for the Georgians and the Armenians. The two new DLC civs get these mule carts. Georgians also with access to the fortified church, which we might talk about later if we see that. But on the other side, the Britons actually going for a much faster feudal age. Cychreus only 36 seconds away from feudal. Looks like... well, we'll see what happens here. 19 villager feudal is quite the rush timing. With 7 on those berries, 2 farms. Going for some palisade walls. So he just walling the part that he can see and it'll catch up after that. Britain's cheaper wood cost on their town centers, so easier to drop those TCs once you hit castle age, allocate your villagers gathering some other things. The instantly clicking double bit axe for a little more efficient wood gathering. This might be a fast castle attempt. We got the market and the blacksmith here for yellow. Not gonna have the resources though. I think with 19 villas it's really hard to get that fast castle timing down. Get all of the wood, food, and gold that you need in order to build the buildings and also click up. That's why you see people oftentimes going for like 25 fills when you're fast castling. Just spend like 0 time in feudal age, build those buildings, and instantly click up. But that is some blazing fast timing from yellow, and it's got to make Fish Speaker a little bit frightened, you know? See your villager go up at 9 minutes. It's pretty crazy. Fast castle... it takes a little work, a little fine-tuning to get right, but when you do it, it's very satisfying. I gotta say that at least. I don't do it perfectly either. Looks like he's actually spending... okay, so this... I may have misread the situation even. I think these might just be to get these buildings up and have them, you know? Very useful unit buildings, right? Blacksmith for, in this case, fletching, market, if you need to balance stuff out. Cychreus actually going for an archery range and fletching, so we might see some archer rushing going on here, which is definitely a use for the 19 villager quick feudal. Fish Speaker at 43 seconds to feudal age, going for some of his own choke point walls, some house walls here, good stuff. Keep those safe. If we do see archers come across though, like here, for example, in most cases, having a lumber camp here would be... it would be kind of a sunk cost, right? Because the archers can just camp in this spot and deny villagers from chopping wood. You just leave that lumber camp and have to build another one somewhere else. In this case, Fish Speaker can just move the mule cart out of the way to a different wood spot. So some interesting dynamics to consider there. Britons, of course, archer civ. They get extra range on their archers. Their unique unit is a longbow, extra range archer from the castle. So we'll see which bonuses with those come into play. Also, Britons gather faster or more food from sheep. So kind of hurts actually that Fish Speaker was able to steal those 2 sheep earlier. I think they came all the way across. I didn't manage to track them all the way. Got a little distracted with other stuff. Fish Speaker 5 on stone in feudal age. He's coming into this game with a plan, right? 2 on gold. We got the wood here. We got the food rather. He's just gonna need those buildings. If we put these players together right now, they could click castle, right? The buildings on one side, the food and gold on the other. There's a market in the back corner, and the blacksmith now for for red. A lot of times you will see people do the market with 2 villagers, blacksmith with 1, and they both finish at roughly the same time. Market takes a little longer. If you're really, really trying to optimize that fast castle and just get there instantly. But scouting right now, Fish Speaker sees the archer, so he knows. He's saying in his mind right now, okay, it's archer rush. It's archer rush time. Get ready, brace yourself. Not fully walled off either, though maybe he thinks this is a wall. If we go and turn on large trees, it might look like there's a wall, but Fish Speaker I know is not using large trees, so it's just irrelevant for me to mention that, I guess. How do we know that? Because I beat it into him. So much stone right now, 680 stone. Gonna have enough for castle and town centers in Castle Age once he gets there, which clearly is the ultimate plan. Finish that blacksmith and click it after this villa. Oh, cancels the villa, goes castle. Love to see that urgency. I know, at least on the red side, I was in communication with him most of the day before they played this, and he was very nervous, to say the least. Practicing quite a lot, and definitely a high blood pressure, high BPM set of games here for red. Love to see that, as long as it doesn't lead to too many problems. Yellow was also in game quite a bit before this, so I can imagine he was working on his strats as well. Some spearmen for Cychreus here. He probably knows about what the Georgians are all about. Prepare for some scouts maybe, or some later knights. Fish Speaker about 1 minute away now from Castle Age. And Cychreus going for those walls is going to be, well, somewhat walled in some choke points. Would love to see a check, just like sit back for a second and double check. Make sure that you're fully blockaded off. I guess he doesn't see a lot of these areas. Might assume that there's a tree line here all the way to the stone, all the way to the cliff. I don't know. Does he have his scouts still? Where's that scout at? It is a lot to focus on with the archers, spearmen, skirms coming out. Would love to see a little more scouting around those choke points for yellow. But neither of them is fully walled, right? There's still a gap here for red. Plenty of gaps for yellow, as we were just mentioning. There's that Castle Age for Fish Speaker. Cychreus might be looking to get there as well.
Yay.
But the army production is going to slow him down, so we'll see if he can do damage with it. That's really what you need to do. When you see your enemies in castle, you've made army, but you're nowhere near it. Or at least you're still working on it. Start trying to find damage with the units. Castle now for Fish Speaker in a really solid spot defensively, right? Great spot for the Georgians. He's going to wall up this backside with stable and actually drop second TC here. We mentioned he had plenty of stone for that. 300 still in the bank after the TC and castle. And this castle will protect the wood line and the gold back here, at least from any forward attacks with the house walls in play as well. Archer's coming in now for yellow. And I think, let's see, does he see? He does see this gap now, so gonna walk around those walls. Fish Speaker in for a bit of a rude awakening, hasn't scouted this. The Archer's just chilling for the time being. I think Cychreus looking back at home, optimizing, going for that castle, also canceling villagers to go up. Love to see that. Attention to detail. I'm not saying that you should always cancel villagers to go up to the next stage if they're like halfway done. That's not really any kind of rule of thumb or anything. But if you need to get there as fast as possible and your strategy relies on it, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Red, having scouted those archers earlier, pre-made skirmishers, and should be able to push this back if push comes to shove. He's getting more skirmishers out. No blacksmith upgrades yet for those though. Would love to see the padded archer armor at least, like first level of defense. And skirmishers' real power is not in the damage that they do. They do bonus damage to archers, but the real power is in the tankiness that they have. Let's look 30 HP on a skirm, 30 HP on an archer. 3 range defense though, versus 0 on an archer. So that said, Fish Speaker may just decide, okay, my skirms have done what they need to do, right? They pushed back the army, and now I can start ramping up Manaspa production. The Manaspa is insane. Scout being attacked at home. It's man-at-arms, archers, skirmishers for yellow. Nothing the Manaspa really needs to worry about. And yellow has not seen any cav units yet. He's seeing them now, just now. Also, Cychreus now hits castle. And what does he decide to do? Queue up spearmen from all 3 barracks at once. Good choice. It's what you have to do. Britons don't have camel. They do have cav archer, at least to some extent, which could be an option. No bloodlines makes them a little bit weaker though. So spearman is probably your best bet into Manaspa, but it looks like it's going to be skirm Manaspa from red, and that's a great combo. Fish Speaker working on enough stone for another castle as well, and producing out of both TCs at least pretty regularly. Idle TC time still with the 2 town centers versus the 1 is lower for Fish Speaker, so he's been hitting those hotkeys, pressing those. Well, I don't know. I know he presses H to select all town centers. I know that much. And then queuing up more villas, finishing the walls as well. Gonna be fully locked in. Yellow doing a good job of that somewhat as well. I think he's able to see most of those edges now. Might need to send that scout around and check things out in case you get raided from the sides. But yellow, more focused on the main army here, is going to be trying not to wall up and defend, but create something in the middle that red has to respond to. It's a good strategy. Blacksmith, looking good for yellow. Padded archer armor fletching, scale mail armor for that infantry. I feel like with counter units, you always want to get the armor first, like with spearmen and with skirmishers. With main units like archers, knights, man-at-arms, maybe, I don't know. You want to be going for those attack upgrades. Because skirms, again, most of the value that they have is bonus damage, which is not impacted by the like forging upgrade, right? So they'll be doing bonus damage to cavalry.
Ready.
Let's see, do we see that here? Cavalry, 22 extra attack damage. Okay, that's crazy, right? So good comp from yellow. This is a good give and take game. Not a huge amount of damage done by either side yet, and red going to re-wall. There's actually, I didn't even see this, still a gap here by this cliff, which is insane. Red should notice that once he's fully walled and he's still able to send units out. Eco difference, not too bad right now. Fish Speaker is housed at 80. Is he working on it? He's working on it. Look at all these coming in. Oh, he's going for tons of houses. Second TC also for Cychreus. Love to see that. Maybe he'll be able to even things out here. Idle TC time has gone up quite a lot for Fish Speaker recently, particularly with this housed moment. But it happens. And Cychreus also moving out to the sides to try to find maybe if there's any proxies out here, or potentially some damage around the edge. But Fish Speaker is fully walled and has a very nice wood line on that right side. So not gonna be able to get in without battering down some houses. Main fight here, possibly. Skirms do great work against spears. I think they have spearmen, I think, is like an extra +1 damage. I'm not too sure. Skirmisher versus spear, they do a little bit of bonus damage at least, so that's why I'm so favorable of this comp right now. You can really handle the spears with enough skirmishers. Looks like red, okay, moving over to some more stone, has 1,200 stone in the bank. Let's see what he decides to do with that. He's gonna start mining this little random gold in this pocket of cliffs. And Cychreus, seeing that army, decides, I'm gonna just move all my units back around. Maybe it looks like he tried maybe to click over here and found the houses. And we've got a defensive castle from yellow. This is a pretty good spot. Also, I like the tower here. It will at least delay a little bit what red ever decides to do. This is like the only forward, like, unwalled area for yellow. Could still be attacked around the wide edges, but we're gonna have a castle off. I like this castle. I would like it more if it was closer to a resource, like this gold, for example. But it's a good choke point spot. Red gonna be actually like doing some blocking, some blocking with this castle here. And we've got castle age fighting right now. You don't see that every day from Fish Speaker. He usually just goes straight naked Imperial Age. But today, he's got to respect yellow. That's a lot of Manaspa. 24 Manaspa with +6 damage. That's 2 from the blacksmith upgrades and 4 from having enough units out there. That's their unique ability. In mass, they get up to +4 damage. And it looks like the unit count here gonna work out for yellow, at least for now. Castle goes up for both. Both players losing a lot of units. HP could be on either side. Skirmishers, spearmen spammed out for yellow. Fish Speaker gonna have to fall back. 53-66 on the eco count. Yeah, it's a really nice buff. Aloysian, I agree. It's really, really strong. So right now we'll see them have only +3 because there's not enough units of them. I think it goes up in increments of 5, right? So once we get a few more around here, maybe it starts at 10. Not sure. Oh, no. So they had the +5 unit one already, and then when we get up to 10, it should go up to 4 once they all near. Yeah, there's the +4. It's the same numbers of bonus as the Lithuanians get with gathering relics. Up to 4 relics gives them +1 attack on their latest per relic. But this feels way easier to get to, right? So interesting stuff. Georgians have like a really, really bad win rate on the ranked like global ladder queue right now, though. So it's interesting how to deal with this, right? Because if you get these units, you can snowball, but it seems like a lot of people online aren't able to get there, right? It's a lot of complications with the meal carts, maybe, and very late game civ balance situation. But Fish Speaker might be able to use it this game. It's a good effect. I would love to see these units just, because you're defended at home well enough with 2 castles, run around the edge and try to get eco damage. And I think that might be what he's going to try to do. At least he's going to go somewhat around through this palisade wall. Cychreus is going to move to defend. Looks like we still have skirms. Also, this has been fully walled by red. Now you noticed the gap there. Skirms latest, or Manaspa, Skirms Manaspa for red. Yellow's mixing in some longbows. Still lacking a couple of upgrades from the blacksmith for that. And Fish Speaker, how did we miss this? 9 seconds from Imp. Once you get Elite Manaspa in particular is when this unit becomes pretty much insane. I don't think we have enough halbs, enough pikemen here from yellow, but he's working on getting those units up. 70-56 eco difference right now. Idle TC time is probably the largest contributor to that, but we're gonna start seeing eco kills as red is doing definitely the right thing here and just running back into the economy of the opponent, forcing yellow to move his whole army back there and try to clear that up. Maybe he can start getting some trebs out. He's working on conscription from the castle. Start pushing that middle when he's got time. He's making time right now. Looks like Cychreus using that market, trying to balance the economy. Getting squires so those spearmen can chase a little bit more easily. The Manaspa might all end up getting cleared, but the chaos that they've sown is definitely worth it. And there's Elite Manaspa. We got Bloodlines. Looks like Fish Speaker might have slipped his mind these stable upgrades, but he's getting them now. And at 38-70 eco, it's looking good for Fish Speaker, especially as he is in Imp. Start making some trebuchets, maybe bombard cannons even if he needs to, and start sieging the front of the yellow base. The crossbows are doing a great job. And the longbows too. Skirmishers in the mix. Maybe not the most ideal unit at this point. Cychreus still going full on market usage. He's getting husbandry. Maybe making some knights of his own. Fish Speaker gonna try to take down this town center with the Manassa, but there's definitely not enough here to do that. And they will get cleaned up by the pikemen. As there's another fight in the middle, another massive wave of Manaspa right-clicking on the castle this time. And it looks like he's just gonna tank the damage from these spearmen, try to kill this castle. Tough position for yellow. Also, I forgot to do the outcome for the last prediction. There you go. No prediction this time around. Castle might go down, but it's going to be very costly. Fish Speaker, I think, might have been served a little better from doing some unit-on-unit fighting. Maybe get some trebuchets out. He just wants to spam an Aspa. And now yellow should be fully aware of this. Just make pikemen and you might be alright. But that eco diff, really what separates players a lot of times. Fish Speaker sending some units, a detachment out to the farms. Right-clicking on that mill, looks like. Still making skirms. I love the mix-up, putting those skirms into the battle as well. That's good stuff. A gold unit and a trashed unit. Good comp against the archer spear. Yellow does have a ton of units still, though. Look at this. This unit count difference. 51-33. Fish Speaker is going to have to get some more production going or he's in trouble. Little low on gold right now. Back at home. He's trying to find more gold, sending more villagers out. Gonna drop another castle on this forward gold and try to take that. It's looking a little scary right now for this red army. Cychreus almost enough resources to go imp as well. He's gonna need a castle, I believe they have changed the settings in the game, like the rules in the game, to where if you have built a building in the past and then it gets destroyed, it still doesn't count as a prerequisite. I'm not sure. We'll have to see if Cychreus tries to go up without a new castle. New fight here for red. It looks like the skirms and the Manaspa are going to clean this up eventually. Again, I can't say enough how much I love that the skirms have been added in here. Cychreus looks like he's gonna pull the stopper on his bank and try to get some more techs in the last second, but ultimately army gets cleaned up. Huge amount of units there from yellow, and Fish Speaker takes game one. Impressive stuff from both players. Yellow, Cychreus able to spam out so many units, get a huge mass up, but the power of the Manaspa is not enough, is too much to overcome. And also the power of having 25 more villagers in the back. Eco KD, well, it's 26, so if red hadn't raided there in the middle of that game, it would have been equal eco number. Impressive stuff. Alright, take a look at these stats. 77 pikemen, 104 Manaspa. T-Bird, where did I lose that game? Would love some tips. Well, let's see. Let's take a look. I think we could even go back and check things out. I'm not by any means the be-all end-all of Age of Empires knowledge and skill, but I think I can give some... I can come up with some ideas. Not enough TC. Well, I think you needed... Okay, let's go back to... Where are we at here? Let's go back to when there was that army out. Right around here, like this army needed to do damage, right? If you make army in feudal, and you can sense that your army, or you can see that your enemy is in castle already, you're basically already like putting yourself behind by spending value on units that aren't doing anything. So sending these guys out, even if it's just like 3 or 4 early on to get the damage done, would have been good. I liked what I saw here when you sent them in, but unfortunately Fish Speaker like saw them already earlier and made skirms preemptively, so that was a little bit unfortunate. Also, the castle being up already definitely is a problem. So at that point, you can either keep trying to find damage somewhere, which is going to be basically impossible with the castle 2TC situation. Then you basically just have to fall back and just focus on catching up and rebooming. So where there's castle age, like as soon as possible, drop like 2 town centers and wall up and try to, I mean, I guess in the game though, you don't know what the eco difference is, but you can guess when your opponent is in castle this much earlier that they'll have at least 2 town centers and they'll be beating you on economy. I guess you can see kind of on the score as well. You just got to start spamming those villas as much as possible. Keep the vision out, which I like how far, like you've got this castle, there's this this tower here. Make sure you know like when your enemy's going to attack, like if possible, get an eye on that, but focus on the economy basically and making as many villas as possible. It's been a lot of games in this Winter Bash where it's just been villager production has won the game, right? Your unit comp I think was really good. Besides Fish Speaker making a lot of skirmishers. And also the castle, great spot for that. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's I hope that helps a little bit. I liked you're mixing in skirms to counter his skirms, I think. You got good unit composition. And it kind of just comes down to the Georgians being able to mask their broken unit in late game. You kind of have to be able to stop them before that. But well played either way. Good effort. And I think that was a good try. Just went a little bit wrong with that early attack. You just gotta have to be able to it's hard, but like identify like what strategy your opponent is going for. Oh wait, this was game 1. And then like play based on that. Or if you can set the narrative by defending and stuff, but yeah. So Mongolia down, and I believe our next map is Amazon Tunnel. Welcome back once again. Winter Bash, best of 3, Fish Speaker challenging up to A-League. He's gonna pick the Romans here. Very interesting choice in red, Fish Speaker on that bottom left side. And Cychreus, top, right, north, northeast, in yellow playing as the Cumans. We're here on Cychreus' home map, which is Amazon Tunnel. Sorry, this music is crazy. This is the Roman intro music, I think. We just gotta enjoy it for a minute. Oh, it's still going. Okay, we'll work through it. That's some good music, though. I love that. I picked the Romans maybe just for that. We've got Amazon Tunnel. We've got the Romans. These guys, kind of a bit one-trick Civ situation. They were added recently with the Return of Rome expansion. Also added like a ton of Age of Empires 1. They added a whole new game mode, like side version of the game. It's basically like a mod that adds Age of Empires 1 into Age 2 engine. It's pretty impressive. I would just play Age 2, but that's just me. But also, when you buy that, you get the Roman civilization, which you can play online, on ranked, and everything. They are an infantry civ, and they are a oddly enough scorpion civ. That's the like little ballista unit that shoots bolts through multiple layers of units. And they also have very strong eco bonus. I think their workers are just all 10% more efficient than the standard worker. Fish Speaker finds the TC. Cychreus garrisons up. Gets a little damage on that scout. Good start. Fish Speaker also sending a villager super far forward. Might be able to get some walls up. I'm just noticing, actually, with this generation, for whatever reason, there are no hostile Gaia units. I feel like normally you see a lot of crocodiles and stuff in the middle, blocking your villagers from just walking out, building walls, but this time at least, Fish Speaker are gonna be able to get this villager across safely. And both players pretty much, well, I'm say pretty much, exactly even on idle TC time. They're both idling their TC right now. Love to see the closeness when it happens like that. So yeah, that's Romans. Their Man-at-Arms line final upgrade is a unique unit type that has a few slightly different stats than the like champion and stuff. Also, they have a unique cavalry unit out of the castle that boosts the movement speed of all infantry units nearby. So you want to like sprinkle those into your army if possible. Also, we could see them just spamming a ton of heavy scorpions. I'm not totally sure what the bonus is that gives them the scorpion power. I do not remember it. It might be cheaper or something. Not sure. On the other side, the Cumans, great choice for a map like Amazon Tunnel, where you might want to boom up for a while and then do a quick power push before the enemy gets fully rooted in. Can build a second town center in Castle Age, in Feudal Age, apologies. Which means that they can get out a lot more villagers than their opponent early on and just kind of snowball from there. It does mean, since you're spending food making villagers from 2 town centers in Feudal Age, that you might be a little bit slower to castle because you're spending food on other things, but it doesn't necessarily matter. Cychreus in the chat, OMG, I didn't know that. Really unfortunate there, but humans have a lot of other powerful bonuses as well. So they also have access to the Kipchek in the castle, which is unique. Like I guess like Cavalry Archer has some unique abilities, some stats to it, and also the Step Lancer, which is it's accessed by like the Mongols and a couple other civs as well, but kind of a light, medium, stable unit, very strong. Has extra range on its attack as well, so it can really just win fights by not having to deal with the bad pathing quite as much. So right now, Cychreus going up to Feudal, 1 minute 47 seconds away. I'm gonna imagine Fish Speaker tries to do what he did last game again and go for a long Dark Age into Quick Castle. Both players, okay, all right. Now we've got the civs out of the way, etc., etc. Let's talk about the map. All right, Cychreus home map. He's chosen this to be the fallback that we go to if he loses, which is what happened here. Amazon Tunnel. Okay. I think he played this against Silly Seth as well earlier on in the Winter Bash as well. But Amazon Tunnel, as you can see, very choke point, one funnel. Is a one tunnel kind of. This is the war zone funnel map with all the relics in the middle. This is 5, yeah. All the relics in the middle and a bunch of neutral resources in the middle as well. Plenty of resources back at home. What is this? 3 gold piles, 1,600. Is it 1,600? 1,400 gold for both in their base. So like you can stay in your base as long as you need to, but ultimately the middle control will be what decides the game, because that's the only way to the enemy, right? I think there are extra boars on this map too. I haven't really been paying attention. There's a lot to talk about with this one, but the main thing to think about on Amazon Tunnel when you're playing it is you got to get the walls up on the choke point. There's a slightly narrower point between where you spawn and the middle of the map, which is usually pretty much like a little bit more open. These players are just going to go for like the furthest forward wall they feel comfortable with, it looks like. And they're both going to be able to get those walls down. Fish Speaker locking in one of the golds behind his wall. Cychreus locking in 4 relics behind his wall and the 5th accessible. Fish Speaker now, a minute 30 from Feudal. Cychreus here. I need some water. Whew. Cychreus getting those feudal age buildings up now. Stable and a blacksmith. Those will be the two buildings that he needs to go castle if it comes to that. But also 4 on gold could mean anything for Cychreus. Gonna get wheelbarrow. That cumin blacksmith looks kind of cool. Look at that. We got the fire pit. It's like one of those, like, you see that by like your uncle's fish, like koi fish pond. You have a cookout over there. That's fun. And a stable, but I mean, architecture aside, that's actually a sick building. Architecture aside, let's see what these players decide to do with their various bonuses and timings. I'm expecting to see a market blacksmith castle from Fish Speaker. Right now, just queuing some more vills, doing some scouting. Maybe that's on auto scout. Cychreus with 2 militia. I think this is, like, personally, I don't know. I always say this and then I end up potentially being wrong about it, but personally I think this is a waste of resources to make units at this stage in the game. When you're fully walled up, I think you just save your res, make more vills, make as much eco as possible, get to the next age, boom up until you ultimately have to make units. Unless, I mean, we could see a feudal age in maybe castle age push from Cychreus. Another bonus of the Cumans, they can make rams in feudal age. They can build a siege workshop, which is usually only available in the castle age, and they can make rams out of it. So we could potentially see a feudal push with militia / man-at-arms. Here's the market for yellow. There's a barracks for Fish Speaker, blacksmith market as well, and he is pretty close to castle age. Just gonna need some more food. So far, economy is looking the same for both. But here's the thing, look at the Romans with their 10% efficiency. We go to the economy tab, 48, 47. It's not actually that dramatic. Okay, it's like a roughly 100 res, 200 res difference. Nothing too crazy just yet. Forward mining that stone before it becomes unavailable due to the war zone, looks like, from Fish Speaker. And the Rams, the gate, coming through. Cychreus wants to do damage now. It can be risky. That's why, I mean, a lot of times you just see scouts play. The Cuman's actually good with that as well. I don't think man-at-arms, or I don't know, militia are that good, but I could be biased. I would love to see like 5 scouts break through the wall and then start raiding with that. That would probably be able to get a few villager kills, which is really what you're looking for, and I guess disrupt the economy as well. Scouts are a great raiding unit. Militia a little too slow, but if you can put down roots with militia and really get in there and just like be around and make enough of them, it could work out as well. Humans are a cav civ too, so they've got all the cavalry bonuses that you might need for those scouts. Looks like that might be what we're seeing actually, which I love. They also don't cost any gold, where militia do cost gold, so I'm just a militia hater, chat. Call me out on it if you need to. Here's another thing, very, very small thing, but Palisade gates, 400 HP. Palisade walls, 250 HP. Palisade gates, 4 tiles you can attack from, so the units can all attack the same building. Palisade wall, 1 tile. Definitely go for the gate. Very vulnerable spot. But I'm complaining about a guy that's getting villager kills right now. It doesn't matter what gate or wall he attacks. He's got rams. This guy's able to get 1 villager kill, 3 eco kills. Apologies. Soon to be 5. Incredible stuff. Here's the scout rush. Here is the scout rush content, and Fish Speaker kind of is a little bit discombobulated right now. He is halfway to castle age. That's his saving grace, is the speed that he can get to the next age right now. but he's taking a lot of damage at home. 6 villagers down right now from the attacks. I think he lost one to a boar earlier, possibly. 1 scout dies to the TC. More scouts on the way. And Cychreus is going to push this advantage. He's doing a great job. This is exactly what he needs to do. This watchtower, I guess, is for area control, but I would love to see that on a resource from Fish Speaker instead. You're spending valuable stone on that. I would say drop it where you can deny gold or stone or wood from the enemy. But either way, it provides a bit of a blocker for red. He's not going to be able to push back. Oh, so securing a position, and that's good stuff. It's good to see. 5, 6 scouts on the field, roving around, looking for damage. Fish Speaker, 245 stone in the bank. Ah, that's why he has 245 stone in the bank. He just spent all of it on a castle. Emergency castle here. And he's not going to be able to get it up, at least... he's not going to be able to build a castle, at least for the time being. Villagers going to have to garrison. Rams going in on the foundation. Is this castle going to be denied? Spearmen attacking the ram. There should be one more ram out there somewhere. I don't know where it is. Maybe it went down. And looks like... Oh, the castle! The castle! The spearmen killed the scouts, but it's been delayed. Castle is being built again. The men-at-arms come in clutch. Castle's gonna go up. That was so close. Cychreus selling, buying. Has the army presence still militia actually being useful here. I once again am proven incorrect about militia. The good thing for Fish Speaker in this situation, he's built the foundation of the castle in a spot where it is ranged by the town center. And he's gonna commit the whole economy onto this castle right now. It's going up. It's the only way back in the game for Fish Speaker. 24 villagers to 30. Not terrible. Castle goes up. Army cleared up. Cychreus forced to pull back. A minute 25 from Castle Age himself. And Fish Speaker might just have stabilized the game for himself there. On a knife's edge right now. This guy. I know he's got adrenaline coursing through his veins. I do. I'm just watching. Cychreus now working on more rams. It's possible he wants to destroy the castle with the rams. I wouldn't advise it. On upgraded rams, you're going to need at least like 5 with army support. Could be worth doing. Could be worth doing. You never know. He could also just be going for some buildings. That would be very powerful. Just deny your opponent the blacksmith on the market, force them to make those buildings again if they want the upgrades and the ability to trade. Fish Speaker with an impeccable second town center spot here. Stone, stone, gold. Doesn't get much better than that. Cychreus now in the castle age. I'm looking for a second TC. Not quite enough stone for it due to that tower, it looks like. I think he may have sold 100 stone as well to get to this point. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Only 2 villagers on this too, so it's going up real slow. 32 villagers, 24 villagers. Cychreus in the lead this game, in the controls, in the driver's seat. And these rams are not going to just go away, right? You're going to have to deal with them if you're red. The Romans, again, want to make long swords. They want to make scorpions, ultimately, if they can. Steppe Lancers will do well into those long swords, though. If you can mass enough of them. Also upgraded to man-at-arms here for yellow. Good unit as well. There are a lot of spears out for red, so Cychreus is going to have to watch out for that. But he is also raiding at the same time on the gold mine. I love this. I love a good scout raid at any point in the game. I died to it earlier on. Yesterday I died to it in a team ranked game. Fortunately my allies carried us through, but man. Players just sending a couple of knights and a couple of scouts into your economy, just ignoring your defenses and just walking past them. Can really make or break a game. More Steppe Lancers now coming out for yellow. And he's going to need an answer to the spears, I think, ultimately. That's going to be the issue for yellow here. Back up at home, the 1 TC play, just pumping out units, actually is working. I think in this situation, this is the right move. What I said earlier was wrong. You've got the advantage, significant advantage, right? You've killed a bunch of Ills. You don't need to invest in economy necessarily. You can also just invest in going for the kill. Just use all of your res, make army, and keep the pressure on. Even if your opponent's on 2 town centers, it's not going to matter because you're killing Vills, you're doing damage. So it looks like archer ranges are going to be the move from Cychreus, but also it looks like we're kind of chilling, sitting back a little bit for now, and working on ourselves. Cav archers. Looks like that's actually the play for yellow. I love cav archers. Good choice. You can kite around any spearmen you come across, as long as you've got the multitasking to not have them all die to spears. Happens to me more often than I'd like to admit. And a monastery now for yellow. We're just going to check what time it is. 7:44. Okay. Live game tonight at 8:30, roughly. So we've got plenty of time before then to finish this matchup. Maybe another one after that. Looks like Cychreus never found those 2 llamas, but we can't begrudge him for avoiding a few extra llamas. Listen to these boys. Let's listen to these guys. It's horrifying. It's horrifying. I can't handle it. We got to look away. So it seems like Cychreus wants, well, he wants to make one of every unit possible, is what it seems like, including a monk. Now, Cychreus does have full uncontested access to all 5 relics right now. Relic victory is an option. It is available in this tournament. We have standard victory conditions on, so that also includes wonder victory. We want to keep things interesting. It has thrown people for a loop in the past. Particularly, I'm thinking of one 2v2v2v2 where the bottom score players won with a wonder that nobody even tried to deny, even though it had to pop up on screen the entire time. Last year. Anyways, all victory conditions are enabled, so we could see a relic countdown in the near future. You never know. Depends on how much Cychreus is focused on that. Also, forward castle from yellow, locking in his position even more. This is good. This is a good spot. If you want to throw all your how do I say this? Put all your chips on the table, I guess. You could try and build that even more forward, deny some buildings, deny some resources. But Fish Speaker has a pretty good spawn with where his resources are located, so he's gonna be okay for now with that. And it would be very risky. You don't know what army your opponent is making if you're yellow right now, so good spot for a castle. Lock down that single choke point, make sure nobody gets through there. We got 3 relics in the bank right now for yellow. 40-46 on that eco count. It is climbing now with the 1 TC play from yellow. Not doing any more damage at the moment. Red will be able to catch up as long as he keeps queuing Vills. Red actually trying to do some stone walls forward. Not going to be able to get those down. And there's that castle for yellow. Send those Vills back home to do some stone mining elsewhere. We've got the army moving out for red. 4 relics in the bank now for yellow. This one's a little farther forward. We'll see if he thinks about it. That could even be the plan now. Who knows? Scout for yellow is going to see the enemy army. I like the knowledge, the choice to send that out and see what's up. Even if it dies, it's still providing a lot of intangible value. And Fish Speaker in this position doing what he can. 43-47, getting some more raids in on the left side. I'm not sure, I guess, not sure what I would say Fish Speaker could improve in this game. I guess just more Vills. Maybe a 3rd TC. You got the res for it. More Vills. But he's not doing a terrible job right now. Yellow massing those step lancers. I love the step lancers. Look at these guys. They look so cool. They're such a good unit. They're pretty cheap. They're fast to produce. Love some step lancers. This is an A tier challenge, Arduous, actually. So, Fish Speaker in B tier at the start of this set, challenging Cychreus for his spot in A. Cychreus here in second game, lost the first, looking to respond with a victory. He's going very aggressive. And we do actually have the 5 relics gathered. And also, bottom right, we actually in Capture Age do have a relic victory countdown showing up there. 194 years. And it looks like a year... Let's see. I'm trying to judge this. It's like 5 in-game seconds, I think. Which is 1.7 times real time. Don't ask about the Age of Empires time situation. It's a whole overcomplicated thing. But for now, pikeman for yellow. Does he see, like, I'm confused a little bit by that. Do you just click it just because you're like, pikeman, why not? What the heck? I feel like I wouldn't click pikeman right now unless I see cavalry for the enemy. There's not even a stable for the enemy. I guess the Romans do have access to their centurion, right? Or legionary, one of those two in the castle, which is a cav unit. But you haven't seen any cav. Just a nitpick once again. Kip check. There it is. Unique human archer unit. I think they maybe fire, just going off of their little icon here, 3 arrows at once. Let's see. It's my guess, right? Seconds between attacks, attack delay. Okay. I'll have to take a look. Chat, look it up if you need to know more, because I don't know more, clearly. 165 years on that relic victory. Monk has come forward after doing so much work. Is healing up those units we were raiding earlier. We actually have scorpions from the human player, not the Roman player. Okay. 2 siege workshop. Oh my goodness. 2 siege workshops for red. Sorry for looking away from that fight. Apologies. Kipchaks will push back the all infantry army from red right now. Only one with the scorpions. Maybe it was a double click issue, or maybe he queued them all before finishing building the second siege workshop, but we're going full scorpion production right now, and I think that's a pretty good play, honestly. It's all infantry. Well, okay, now half of these are step lancers, so you're gonna need a front line in order to block this. Can you explain the difference between an intuitive player and a meta player, which is more core to the game's competitive intention? Alright, let me think about that one for a minute. An intuitive player and a meta player. I mean, I guess you'd say a meta player. Oh, Cychreus just making every unit in the game right now. We got camels out. We got scorpions. We got one horse archer, Kipchaks. I mean, the horse archer and the Kipchaks are a good combo. They both take the same upgrades, right? Everything, and throwing it all at the wall right now. We'll love to see it. A meta player would be one that only does what is considered by the wider community to be like the most optimal thing in every situation, right? So probably way more predictable, for example. An intuitive player, I guess, I know it's a lot less of a common term. We'll circle back. Put a pin in that. We'll circle back to it. An intuitive player would maybe be one that doesn't try to learn a build order for... I think you're talking about yourself when you say that. Learn a build order, for example, as much. It doesn't focus as much on like what might be widely accepted as the best way to play the game. So, I don't know. Take from that what you will, but maybe less predictable. So, if the meta player with the potentially best strat, this is where a strategy game like Age of Empires is like really interesting, and kind of gets a lot of long-lasting, I don't know, longevity maybe. If you only do what is the best strategy every time, say you're the Franks, and you only make Castle Age and make knights, it's going to be pretty easily predicted by the enemy player, if they're, especially if they're playing a more intuitive, I guess, style, if they're trying to read the game as it comes at them, and play according to that. You're going to be easily countered. Like, people are just going to make spearmen without even seeing what you're doing if you're a Frank player that just plays the meta, right? So, I don't know if ultimately which is more core to the game's competitive intention. I consider myself to be a vibes player. Okay, well, it's worked out fairly well for you, I would say. Red pushing this castle with only scorpions is not going to work out for him here. I think the fact that the relic countdown is on 90 years is maybe playing with his head a little bit. Castle going to be able to win this fight for yellow. Treb out now for him as well. Both players in Imperial Age, while we were talking about intuitive and meta, whatever, content. Both in Imp. Trebuchets for red. I'm so sad that Fish Speaker threw away his whole army here. I think it's just because he's worried about the relics. You can, by the way, with the relics all captured, it does give you line of sight of the monastery that they're in, so... He knows where it is, but the fact that he's just running his whole army into death right now because he's under pressure is really unfortunate. This is not a situation Red has really encountered before, I think. The relic victory is not really a thing in ranked. It's disabled. It's conquest only in the ranked online queue. But I would have loved to see a little more patience from him to not lose his whole army and then make Trebs. Do it in the other order. Kill the castle first. Yellow, though, in control of this game. We love to see that. Rams, now upgraded to capped Rams, moving in. And I think this castle will stay up for red right now. It's just got very messy for yellow, I mean. Both might actually lose their castle here. With the long swordsman out. Relic win, relic win. Yeah, I think both lose their castle unless there's any repairing going on. Red has a backup castle here. It's not a ton of defense other than more unit spam from yellow, who's still making every possible unit in the game one after the next. Mangonels now, completely unpredictable. This guy, this is intuitive play at its best, right? Romans here, just running in under the castle fire. He thinks these are Menaspas right now. Oh, they get flattened. Mangonel's damaging the trebuchet a little bit. And castle stays up for yellow. Relic, 47 years on that relic victory. More long swordsmen are coming out for Fish Speaker. You don't think he has the res. He might have the res to upgrade those guys to their final form. The Romans' unique final form of the militia line. But he's under pressure. May this serve as a warning to all Winter Bash players. Your opponent might win by relic. So you gotta be prepared. You gotta keep a cool head about yourself. These Kipchaks are doing a lot of work right now. Let's see. Kills. Okay. It's one kill for this particular group of Kipchaks right now, but they're pushing back the enemy. Situation here when you're using ranged units so much. This little guy right here. This little guy in the university, okay? It's a little bit expensive. It's a little bit pricey. But ballistics, alright? Your units will do so much more damage with that ballistics upgrade. It means they will be more accurate against moving units. Without it, it just feels like they're missing all the time. Either way, yellow handling this game very effectively. Cychreus, great job here. Making units, making a second castle to lock that in. 20 years left on that victory, that relic victory. Repairs this castle up enough to call it good, and is making more trebs. Trebbing down the enemy base. I think at this point, if we freeze the game right here, take away the relics, yellow still wins. He's got the trebs, he's got the momentum, he's got the rams, capped rams. Earlier on, before Fish Speaker ran his whole army into the castle in a panic, I don't think he knew the castle was there at the time, by the way. I'm kind of making fun of him for that, unfairly. We'll go back and check just to clear his name. But I think at that point, could have gone either way. Maybe Fish Speaker still had a chance. But also the early raids, you know, Fish Speaker was just on the back foot the whole game here. Cychreus kept control. Well played from him. Ultimately, it has added that second TC, 69 villagers to 59. One of those two numbers much nicer than the other. And the Rams on the foundation yet again of that castle. Cychreus victorious by relic countdown victory. 31 elite step lancers for Cychreus. 71 longswordsmen from Fish Speaker, but just not able to push that position back from yellow. Great hold there from Cychreus, and also offense. Like, he didn't even need to go on the offensive here necessarily, but he locked in his victory, really secured it with that offensive push. GG to both. GG's in the chat. Just to clarify, I didn't feel good winning a relic win, but I think I had it without it too. Yeah, I think so. I think there was a chance. Let me go back. This is a very pivotal moment in this game, right? Where is it? Here. That win counts as 2. Right here. Let's pause again. Fish Speaker. When did he know that castle was there? He's known for a while. Bop, 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 bop. He knew right here. Oh, okay, is this fight, I think? Fish Speaker with only 20 army and housed right now also. I think you win this fight anyways, yellow, even without the castle. Yeah, red falls back, drops another castle of his own, and then this is the one. Goes in, loses all those scorpions and all those spears. I think if you just creep up a little more carefully as red, get some trebuchets and defend them and take this castle down, maybe there's a chance. 59-66 eco though is still, it was in yellow's favor the whole game, and yeah, definitely a solid game from yellow. Very much like probably 90% would have won it anyways without the relics, but hey, that's just how it goes, you know. Love to see the sportsmanship though in the chat. Didn't feel good winning with relics, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Might as well take that win, you know. All right, check these stats. KD, you just took way better fights. Fish Speaker under pressure, and that clock, that ticking clock, really messed with his head, I think. Res collected, great job there from yellow as well. The Romans keeping up somewhat though with their eco boosts. Actually, that feudal pressure on Amazon Tunnel too. You don't expect it. You really do not expect that, but it worked out great with the Cuman Rams and really smart play. I gotta say that again. I really love that. Red was not expecting to have to defend his palisade walls from Rams there. So, great stuff. So, yellow takes game 2, and it is all to play for in the third. Let's go back to that map draft really fast and see what's what. It's a victory. That's a green check for Seamus. And the third game will be on Ghost Lake, Fish Speaker's home map. Third game of this match, challenging up is Fish Speaker from B to A League. Cychreus defending his honor. If Fish Speaker wins this, he'll be moved up to A and very likely be in the final top 8 tournament bracket. Cychreus loses. Looking a little bit spooky for him. Gonna fall down to B League. Maybe get some more easy wins there. I don't know, but Hindustanis for Cychreus in yellow on the left and Fish Speaker on the right. We haven't talked about these injuries though, my goodness. Oh, they're talking about soccer. Okay. Have at it in the chat. I won't address it though. I can't speak on football. My apologies. Fish Speaker on the right in the Spanish. In red. We're here on Ghost Lake. It's a pretty standard looking Ghost Lake here. And yeah, see where these players, where these decisions take them. Sorry, just gotta clear my throat. Mic muted moment there for a little bit. We've got solid openings. 6 on food from Cychreus, moving over to that 3 on wood. Get that guy going. Oh, he'll do it. He'll do it. We don't need to look at it. And on the other side, 6 on those sheep. Ooh, careful, careful, careful. Watch it. Watch it. Fish speaker, look out. They're gonna look. Oh, it's over. GG. GG. 2 sheep at the same time. It's over. 4 on wood for fish speaker. And he's out here sniping sheep right now. That's where his attention is. Yellow. A little bit less of that, but he's looking, he's looming, he's looking for those sheep. Scouts pass each other there briefly. For those who don't know, Ghost Lake has a ton of sheep spawning in the middle of it. Alright. So it's a common strategy for players to send their scout out, try to slurp up as many of those as they can, sometimes before finding all the boars and all the resources at home even. So that's what Fish Speaker has done maybe here. It might take a little more of your attention away from the base if you're doing that too. So you gotta be careful. Stream Elements reacting to the 11 in that chat. Wow. Both players doing the meta builds right now, I would say. Got 7 over here, maybe a little bit of variation going on, but nothing too crazy. The Spanish. What are the Spanish all about? Well, I know what Fish Speaker's all about, and plays well with the Spanish. Get up to that fast castle age, drop a castle, make conquistadors. That's their Spanish unique unit out of the castle. It's a mounted, I guess you call it a mounted hand cannoneer, right? They got their little guns. A gunpowder cavalry unit. One of the few, one of the bold. Very powerful in small groups, and very powerful because they don't need very many upgrades to get going, right? You don't need any kind of blacksmith damage upgrades for gunpowder. You just make the unit, send them out real quick and easy, damage done. The Spanish eco upgrade, eco bonuses. I think they. Yeah. Spanish economy upgrades, like researches, don't cost gold. I think that's the one. That's like one of them, anyways. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe it's blacksmith upgrades, bro. Chat, look it up. Chat. I'm not gonna speculate anymore on my lack of complete and perfect knowledge of the game. I think it might be blacksmith upgrades that don't cost gold for the Spanish. Something like that. They also have trade. Trade is better for them, but we're not going to be seeing trade in this game, right? Trade cards. If anybody makes a trade card here, it will be a mistake or a very ballsy move. The Hindustani is on the other side. Somewhat newer Civ. I think it was like 3 expansions ago, maybe 2020, 2021. I'm not sure. Used to be in Age of Empires 2, we had a Civ called the Indians. Well, we don't have a Civ called the Indians in Age of Empires 2 anymore. Instead, there was an expansion focusing on the Indian subcontinent. Added the Gurjaras and the... they added some more Civs. And they reworked the Indians into the Hindustanis. This is what the old Indian Civ has been replaced with, and they're great. Okay, I don't know what their win rate is right now. They may have been nerfed a bit since they came out, so it might be a little rough for them at the moment on the online ranked ladder. But they have so many options, counter units. They have strong camels. They, I believe, are one of their things is that they can research the Imperial Camel upgrade. Usually you stop at the Castle Age Camel upgrade, but they have access to Imp Camel. If I'm not getting that confused with something else. They also have some unique units and Spearman Skirmishers that are really strong. So if you want more, look on the wiki, right? We'll probably see counterplay to whatever Fish Speaker is doing. Probably some Skirmishers from Yellow. We'll see. Right now, Fish Speaker's scout getting knocked out a little bit. Yellow taking the initiative on the scout war. And Yellow also much faster to the feudal age. I'm curious if we'll see feudal age aggression again from Yellow and how much damage he's going to be able to get out of it. He has made army in feudal, like consistently for the last few games. So on the other side, Fish Speaker has feudal age behind Loom. He's in no hurry to get to feudal. He's in a hurry to get to castle, but that's a whole other situation, right? The Scout Cav looking like it's gonna go down for red. He's not really trying to preserve it right now. He's paying more attention to gathering enough stone to instantly place a castle and working on that farm transition. A rough spot for a lot of players here, right? You run out of sheep, and where do you send all your vills after that? You still need food income. You gotta switch to farms. Fish Speaker going for 4 farms. A lot of times you see people delaying placing farms as long as possible until they're able to research at least the horse collar upgrade, which is unlocked in the mill in feudal age. Fish Speaker gonna have to go for a few more farms. He did find his second wild boar now, actually, finally, so he's able to pull that in, stabilize things. It's looking all right for him right now. Also, already has enough gold to go castle. It's been a very slow age up for red this game. Cychreus here is just working on the economy as well. That's what I like to see, especially when you've killed your enemy's scout. You have free reign to go look around the map, keep an eye on things. You have the only military unit in the game at this point, right? So you can go check what they're doing if you're worried. Or you can just focus on eco, getting as many advantages as you can on that side of things. Stable coming up for Cychreus. Could be one of the buildings he needs to unlock the next stage, or could be looking for some scouts, which could also do a lot of work here. There's horse collar. There's double bit axe. This is definitely the fast castle build order guide right here coming through. This is a meta player. I guess you could say, I don't know. Doing what he has practiced, doing the most optimized thing he can think of, and we do actually have army for Yellow. Man-at-arms and scouts. Let's see what he decides to do with those. There's actually, okay, so it looks like Fish Speaker didn't actually take any boars in Dark Age. Here's the second one now for him. He probably just ran his scout out here to find the sheep, and then his scout died before he could scout the rest of his base. But what do we have right now? Never beat that M1 classroom full of PCC students. Intuitive gamers. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that is the ideal Age of Empires vibe right there. We do what we can. Nothing will be more fun than that. Sitting 4v4 across the table, maybe getting Dr. Reeves in there to load up Age on his laptop too. Trying to access the Wi-Fi. What a time. What a time. Scouts from Yellow. Hindustanis do have some strong scout options. Some strong cav options. There's the market and the blacksmith as well. He's researching forging, so this is definitely scout. I mean, I don't even need to say it right now. This is definitely scout play from Yellow. And red definitely not fully walled up here in any way. It's gonna have to either quick wall with some houses, some palisades, or run away from this. I think we're gonna see some village losses from red with these forging scouts. See, okay, Yellow doesn't want to go under that TC. Preserve the health of those scouts right now. Sterlingrad's cannons. Oh, what a time. What a time. We killed that man. We killed him. He was dead. And then he comes back an hour later in the game. Cannons across the entire corner of the map. Cannon towers. I'm misty-eyed. Fish Speaker reacting with a full garrison. Another mining camp. Looks like that's blocking. Sorry for that snap zoom, but that's gonna block the scout's path, and he is actually like doing some house walling here in order to keep access to that gold. That's a good play. There's no ranged units from yellow, so on the back of this, no villagers killed, right? And Fish Speaker in Castle Age with 950 stone. We might see some villager deaths now. Yellow feeling a little bit of the pressure as his opponent is in Castle Age, goes under the TC, picks off one vill. He's gonna lose a few scouts though. And Fish Speaker dropping that castle again in range of the town center. He's been here before. This is a player who's been scout rushed online plenty of time. He's got a little bit of experience, knows a little bit more what to do. Pulls the vills off the wood line just in time to save him from the scouts. And on the other side of the map, Cychreus, 1 minute 50 seconds away from castle himself, still producing scouts. Now, if you see a castle going up from the Spanish, if you see a 20-minute, 18-minute castle age from the Spanish, if you know, knowers out there, that's the moment you got to start making skirms, all right? Or something at least to deal with what will inevitably come out of these. If we see any cube, come on. And you got the res for it. He's getting wheelbarrow. Okay, Fish Speaker just chilling for the time being, getting some eco upgrades. He's pushed back the opposition, locked himself behind this castle. Could maybe block off some more choke points, but safe for now. Gold, stone, farms, all safe under this castle. And it looks like we're gonna have more mounted units for yellow. There's Castle Age. I'm gonna assume knights. Maybe camels. Camels could do well into our, now we got them, red conquistadors. Provided red does not do very well with the micro. Like if you get hits with the camels, you're gonna do a good job. But we also have pikemen now for yellow. He just researches pikemen as like a matter of course every game, I guess. Fair enough. There's the first camel queue. Okay, well, there we go. Get enough camels, you might be able to overwhelm the Spanish player here. But these conquistadors are, they're pretty good. If you can get to them, they're pretty darn good. Bowsaw for red, love those eco upgrades. Also yellow already has bowsaw too, incredible. Horse collar, heavy plow for red here, wheelbarrow. Bloodlines though for yellow, I believe. Yeah, they're mounted. Conquistadors do benefit from bloodlines and what's the other one? Freaking bloodlines. Husbandry in the stable. So that's something to keep in mind. One camel out, and the rest of the scouts coming back, trying to get some poke in. See what the enemy's up to over here. Yellow is checking things out. Across the frozen lake. Eco difference right now 39-34. Red was kind of shaken a little bit from that early attack. He was kind of on the ropes, right? So he's been thrown off a little bit. But second town center now in again. What is this? This is insane. Stone, gold, wood line. This is an amazing town center spot. And yellow is again in a position where we're gonna need to see either damage or economy. Red microing the conquistadors. Not a lot of army here that will do well into the conquistadors. And we're getting up to a significant mass of them. There's 7 conquistadors here. Scouts in like a good enough number could do okay. I like the defensive castle from yellow. Maybe on the gold here instead to defend that. But it's out here. It's making a statement. He's kiting around so the red doesn't deny it. Run that army back around the other side. Make sure that those conks don't see the castle going up. Second TC for red. Neither producing vills right now though. So Cychreus keeps his villager advantage for the time being. 8-18. Alright, we'll see how long this game goes. Conks just chilling down there on the south of the map for now. Cychreus, or Fish Speaker with some stables being dropped. I'm really excited to see what comes out of those stables. If it's light cav, incredible. If it's knights, pretty good. That's my opinion anyways. Getting that leather archer armor. Conquistadors, I guess, are affected by the archer armor upgrades in the blacksmith, so that's the reasoning behind that. And we have full camels from Cychreus. I want to see, I don't remember, man, what comes out of the castle for the Hindustanis. If it is what I think it is, could be a good move. Could be a good move. We also have skirms. Okay. Good play from yellow. Conks are basically just fully nullified by enough skirmishers. Padded archer armor would be a good choice there too, but our players are on the ropes for res here. And just the castle creep for red. He's gonna just secure a little bit more gold and a little more stone for himself. I don't know. I just criticize every castle. I'm not even going to there. That's a good castle. When was Sterlingrad last online? I love that screen cap, by the way. Last played May 6, 2016. Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. Oh, sorry, I'm getting nostalgic again. Fish Speaker moving out with those conquistadors and achieving 4 villager kills. Here comes skirms, though. This could be a problem. Again, skirmishers' power is in how tanky they are, so getting that armor to maximize that is the play. But they also do good counter damage to the conks, and they are going to eventually chip these down. In the meantime, Fish Speaker using the mobility of these mounted hand cannoneers to just pick off vills one by one. He's up to 15. Wait, 15? 15? How did he get that? Okay, that is a lot. How did he get that many? He's killing the sheep right now? This guy's a madman. He's on a warpath, killing sheep, just kiting skirms. Not one of these has gone down yet, I don't think. And it's just looking like a huge raid for red. As he just runs through there, he is forced to keep moving. And behind this, okay, now looks back, makes some vills in the town centers. He's just moving on to every resource. Now the issue here is, as the raider, right, you have to keep an eye, you have to always be looking at this screen. You have to be kiting, especially with these ranged units, you have to be dodging and moving on to the next resource. So things could be a little more sloppy from Fish Speaker at home on the economy side of things. He's not making more units. He has now clicked up to Imperial Age though, and has 2 minutes 10 seconds to go. 7 years ago. Rip King. Rip King. A true legend. Sterlingrad. And yellow actually cleans up all those conks, but they did their job. 24 units killed, and the KD is 51 to 9. Cychreus is gonna be needing that town center. He's gonna be needing to boom up again, but I don't know if he's got time for it. It's the other option here, because I keep harping on about build another TC, build more vills, build another TC. The other option is to attack, counterattack, make sure that all of the fighting is in your enemy's base. But Fish Speaker, besides this little back corner, is fully walled up almost now with 2 castles in his base, so very well played from him to defend from that possibility. And none of these units are really great for raiding, right? Camels, their bonus, they do a lot of damage to other cavalry units, right? They don't do a lot of regular damage, and they're also not super tanky. Skirmishers, kind of same deal. Well, I mean, they work against archers. They don't really work against spears or against vills. The player currently we are watching in chat says "Rip lol." Third TC, very compact from red. He's just doing the Spanish masterclass right now for the A-League. He wants it. He wants that A-League spot. And right now it's looking good for him. 33 villagers, 52. Here's second town center for Cychreus. He's still recovering from that from that conquistador push. Did all the right things there. Made the right units. Skirmishers, camels, like I was talking about at the beginning of the game. But Fish Speaker able to just keep moving and keep finding damage in different spots. I think, I guess, as far as that raid goes, anticipating where the conks are going to go next is really what you need to be working on. I don't know. I sound like I'm being like weird about it. I don't know, but pulling bills from resources that might be hit next and sending the units there preemptively. I don't know. It's a rough spot to be in against Spanish conquistadors here. But maybe your best hope now, not that you know necessarily in the game where you fall as far as like, you know, how the balance between yours versus the opponent's economy is and everything. The best hope now might be just to stall as long as possible. Hindustanis are very strong in the very late game, and that could give you a chance to come back on economy. Ghulam. Yes, we can see the Ghulam. This is the unique Hindustani unit out of the castle. What's their deal? An infantry unit. You see them attack. Looks like they've got spears. Area effect range. The Ghulam, I remember now, right? They have a dodge against range. I don't think that capture age shows it. They've got like a little white bar that's full when they're started out, and then when they are supposed to take a hit, the white bar goes down and takes the hit instead. It's like a charge. And so they don't take any HP damage, and then it fills up again after a little bit. So strong unit against range could be, and they're also pretty fast. Let me see this. 1.15 skirmisher, 0.96. So they could maybe get on top of the conks and actually take their spear damage to the enemy with that dodge too. Got a little shield too. This is a pretty good looking unit. But we'll see. We'll see. You know, it's 4471 on the eco. Fish Speaker with the third TC just trying to cement his advantage right now. Knows he did damage with the early conquistadors and is now moving up. Another thing that yellow maybe could do is wall so that the conks can't just run through again. But with the camel there, yellow saw where the enemy is, so he's going to be able to respond a little bit more quickly. Fish Speaker taking out. Look at that poor wolf. Look at that guy. Look at him. He's dead. He's now dead. Didn't have to do that, you monster. And see, this is just a super exposed wood line. Palisade wall here would give you a little bit of a heads up, maybe on that, but now it's all about damage control. It's all about delaying the final death push. And yellow may be in a bad spot here. The conks just being used very effectively by Fish Speaker right now. And facing no pressure at home, he's able to just do what he likes as far as the narrative of the game. Kiting those camels. I really want to see how these Ghulams do into this, because they should just like tank a hit without taking any damage. Again, it looks like Fish Speaker probably will just end up losing these conquistadors, but it's doing what he wants with them, right? Causing chaos, getting some villager kills, forcing the enemy to pull the army back into the far corner of the map where there's no chance they'll get attacked at home. And now Fish Speaker massing trebs, 4 out on the field, 1 more coming in. And just a full queue, 2 castle full, 2 castle conquistador queue. Again, I mean, I keep throwing out ideas and options, but I think really at this point, walling the edges and forcing the enemy to fight a middle push down the middle is definitely the play if you're yellow. Because you've got the less mobile units, but you can kill the army of the enemy. You can kill conquistadors easily as long as they're not kiting you around. So if you push across, force the enemy to fight you in one spot, it's probably your best bet. As it is, though, the raids are just open and available to be had by red. He's probably going to send these guys around the back again. But it's a good effort from both players here. I love the different unit choices. Cychreus, you can tell, is really thinking about what units to make in this game. It was really funny last game, he just kind of made one of everything. This time we've got a wide variety of things, but mostly skirmishers, which is great against conquistadors. Love to see... I don't actually know. I feel like the Golems did well there, but... I'm just curious. Grand Trunk Road. Correct me, chat. Look it up. There it is. Okay, all right. I was about to have to, like, politely explain what Grand Trunk Road does. That's a unique tech for the Hindustanis that benefits their trade. So, again, no trading, no trade cards here. Gonna be canceling that research. Good job, Cychreus, on realizing that. Fish Speaker again in Imperial Age. Cychreus now using the market to click up there as well. Gonna be in Imp in 3 minutes now. Do we have Elite Conquistador? We do. So these guys are gonna be pretty insane. Full Ring Archer armor researched. Bloodlines was missed from Fish Speaker. But he's got like the full Ecotex. This guy's like got fully spec'd Spanish right now. It's gonna be really, really rough for Cychreus to hold. But if he does hold, he does have the stronger unit like options. He has the full-on counter composition with these skirmishers. The only issue being economy. So defending that with your life, walling, for example, building stone walls as much as you can around the edges. You're just gonna force Fish Speaker to run away like this. Really, really strong. Also ballistics again. I'm gonna point up to this little icon right here. Ballistics would be a huge thing to click on if you are Cychreus, but it is very expensive. I feel like whenever I'm trying to get ballistics, I just simply don't have the resources for it. I have to like buy and sell and wait for it all the time. So understandable that players don't get it all the time, but it is like one of the strongest ranged upgrades you can get, I feel like. And Fish Speaker just having to kite constantly here. Now getting bloodlines as well, so good on him for that. Cychreus 30 seconds away from Imp. And where are those traps for Fish Speaker? He made them earlier. They're just sitting back at the base. And actually, wait a minute. Fish Speaker here, the Spanish fully teched Conquistador player here. He's going for a tech switch. Look at this. 9 barracks. 9 barrack tech switch. 10 stables. Okay. Light Cavalry. Alright, hey, that's a good choice. Light Cavalry Conquistador is a great combo. You got a gold unit in the Conquistador. You got a trash unit in the Light Cav. Maybe we'll see Spearmen out of this too. Not too sure. We've got 35 Light Cav queued out of every single one of these stables. And Cychreus with a couple of camels, but that's really the only unit that's going to be effective into that. So let's see if Fish Speaker manages to kite this now. Cychreus building up that mass of 33 elite skirms. And actually is researching two-handed swordsman here. I don't know what it is about these Wisco players, but they love their man-at-arms infantry line. I don't understand it. They do it every time. I guess I can't fault them for it, because it sometimes works. Fish Speaker getting caught out a little bit into some spearmen. He's moving a lot of army around. There are some golems now. There are some spears on the trebs. Light Cav, though. Light Cav switch coming in. No blacksmith upgrades whatsoever for those cavalry, though. With 5 trebuchets, great number of trebuchets to start with. You might lose them, but it's basically guaranteed whatever you castle you fire on with those trebs will die, even if you lose the trebs. So good play there. And Cychreus with seeing the army difference, seeing the tech difference with that tech switch into light cavalry, hits him with the GG, well played, man. All caps. You'll love to see it. Good sportsmanship there from Yellow. And Fish Speaker takes game 3 at 52 minutes. That's, at least speaking in league position terms, that's an upset. Fish Speaker moving up to A-League. Cychreus moving down. Fish Speaker also getting a ridiculous 3 points for that. 1 for advancing up to the next league, 1 for winning, and 1 for challenging. We're going to have to rebalance that if we do this format again. But for the time being. That's huge. 63 conquistadors, 48 elite skirms. What else could you expect from a Spanish Hindustani battle? But unfortunately, the raids were too powerful for Red. He managed to get that edge and make the units he wanted to make. And well played to both. Well fought. That second game, so good from Cychreus. The relic choice, I guess. He said he didn't really want to win with that, and he probably could have anyways, but you gotta take what you can get. And the middle control, the feudal age push with the humans. Good stuff. This set was incredible. GG.